Did you know that
taking a 3-hour flight, a 1-hour taxi ride, another 1-hour flight, getting off the airport, taking a shuttle bus, climb up this hill, hike a little more and more,
and you'll have this incredible view of Fernando de Noronha. But wait, let's start from the beginning. After a 1-hour flight, we landed in what felt like a movie where people get to a lonely island and have the craziest adventures. I don't know, it just felt unreal. A shuttle bus was already waiting for us, and on the drive we got the first informations about the island before getting dropped off at our accommodation.
We now finally arrived here and it's really hot, so we just changed really quick and are now walking to the next supermarket to get some dinner or some small snacks, and then we immediately need to search for the nearest beach to cool down a little.
Since the products are kinda limited in places like this, the supermarket was rather empty and we just got the only bread-like thing they offered. On this island there is barely any internet, so that was a weird feeling at first. It kind of forces you to live more in the moment, and by trying to find things without Google Maps, we got to so many unexpected but extremely beautiful places, which we would have never seen if we just followed the route on our phone. We ended up at this small beach and I've never actually seen anything like this in my life. The water was crystal clear and the scenery movie-like. We even saw ray fish right next to us in the water, which was such a crazy experience since they were my favorite animals when I was little. And then there comes that magical moment when you have wind in your hair, your toes in the sand and the ocean in front of you, only moments away of getting into the water and just letting go of everything. In moments like this, you feel like all the hard work finally paid off. You are just where you belong and nobody can take this feeling from you. There are surprisingly many food options for such a small island, and all I can think about is how they bring all this stuff here. Tonight though, we went for a chicken wrap and a bowl, which were in fact really tasty. For breakfast, we got to try so many local fruits, baked goods and cakes. We also got to try a mango juice and I was shocked by how good it was. In combination with the environment there, I couldn't have imagined a better start to my day. It was once again really hot out, but since we wanted to check out the west side of the island, we rented some bikes to get there more easily. Our first stop of the day was at what claimed to be the most beautiful beach of the world. To get there we had to climb down a really narrow passage between two mountains, which was a little scary but so worth it. I saw the beach for the first time and oh my gosh, it was just so beautiful, I can't even describe it. A year ago, if you would have told me I would be here, I wouldn't have believed it, but here we are on the most beautiful beach in the whole world. We ended up exploring the area around and just walked some trails we found, but little did we know to what beautiful sights they would get us. It's just so insane to me that you just walk wherever you want at this island and somehow end up at places that look like they're straight out of a movie. We filled up our water bottles, decided where we want to go next, and just followed the trail to wherever it led us. We got back really hungry, so we immediately searched for a restaurant online, which didn't really work. So we just went to the center and decided to get some chicken pizza. We didn't have high hopes, but it actually really surprised us by how good it was. We went searching for the trail we just planned, but ended up never finding it. We got distracted by some beautiful beaches and decided to just stay there until we found some motivation to go on. The motivation never really came back, but we ended up on another trail which apparently brought us to the harbor of Fernando de Noronha. In the evening we came up to this fort to see the sunset, and besides me wondering the whole time how they got all these things on the island, I felt so thankful. With the view there, I start to remember how beautiful our earth is and how lucky I am to be experiencing this kind of things at my young age. In the last year I got to see so many new places and wouldn't have thought that my last trip on this journey would be the most beautiful of them all. But here we are, sitting on a lonely island, watching the sunset and just enjoying life.
A house in New Orleans.
Today was the hottest day on the island, but silly as we are, we ended up walking 10 kilometers through the boiling heat. Again, never found the trail we initially planned, but again ended up somewhere really beautiful. I believe it's one of the coolest things on Fernando de Noronha, that you can just aimlessly walk around and end up in the most beautiful spots. after hours in the midday sun, we finally found a tiny piece of shadow where we could take a small break. Unfortunately, the shadow didn't last long because of the sun's movement, and we were forced to continue our journey to nowhere.
I'm currently sitting here on one of the many beaches, and we walked up a big hill for this. But it's really hot today and you can barely walk around and climb all these rocks. But now we arrived here at the beach and it's full of sun and literally no shadow and no things to hide from the sun. So we found a little shadow behind a rock, and that's where I'm sitting right now and thinking about how we're gonna get back, because it's just way too hot to walk all the way back.
But all good things must come to an end, and before we even noticed, it was time to say goodbye.